What do I think about Netflix buying Warner Brothers?
In latter times, I think that artists and writers have allowed themselves to be sold down the river. They have accepted the prevailing belief that art and writing are merely forms of entertainment. They're not seen as transformative forces that can change a human being, that can change a society. They are seen as simple entertainment, things with which we can fill 20 minutes, half an hour while we're waiting to die.
That was Alan Moore talking. Alan Moore wrote V for Vendetta, which basically inspired the entire Anonymous group. I highly encourage anybody to watch The Mindscape of Alan Moore, which is on YouTube. This Netflix thing is just more of the same, and it's ultimately the fault of artists because they have allowed themselves to be sold down the rivers. They are scabs who have pulled the ladder up from under them. Let's say you're a comedian. Well, how are you going to compete with The Simpsons, who has like 30 writers? Let's say you're a musician. Well, how are you going to compete with Beyonce, who has like 50 writers and 50 choreographers? And remember, for every dollar Beyonce makes, and for every dollar the Simpsons writers make, there is a production company that makes $1 million. That's a story that I'm writing. I've got AI to help me. And it won't be coming to Netflix. So this is just a tale as old as time. This is just a case of the middle-class artist being edged out. There used to be a middle-class artist. Now there's only either Brad Pitt or you're nothing. You're either Beyonce or you're nothing. And pretty soon there isn't going to be a Brad Pitt or a Beyonce. The age of celebrities being pop stars is pretty much over. Back in the 80s, you get some investors, you make a movie, and you've got a real chance. And you can make a very original movie. But now you've got even the poorest people who can have a studio at home for dirt cheap. So anybody can use AI, for example. It's the great equalizer. Everybody can make a quality movie now at home for free, which is very empowering, and there's a lot more competition. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you've got shit like Netflix, which is basically dying. TV shows, movies, and music are all getting safer and shittier because the companies can't afford to invest in something that isn't a sure hit. And me being a small person, being one of the little lower class people, this doesn't affect me in any way. This just affects the middle class people, the middle class artists. As a viewer, I was always downloading on Pirate Bay anyways. I'm not even sure how many movies and TV shows are left. I mean, there's Stranger Things? Isn't that possibly the last show worth watching? There's just too much content, too little quality. And burn baby burn. And the power is going to have to return to the artists at the end of the day. People are going to have to go back to reading books. They're going to go back to buying record players. They're going to go back to performing in bars, like rock bands. Yeah, I mean, with AI, right? As a writer, I don't even need actors anymore. I can just create my own art. And you can make your own music. You don't need an orchestra anymore. So rest in peace. And I'd like to say it was nice knowing you, but it wasn't. I mean, it's just so uneventful. Like, wow, a shit company just bought another shit company. And who cares? People aren't going to go to the movie theaters anymore. People aren't going to help Brad Pitt make $1 million anymore. By the way, Alan Moore refuses to take any money for any further doings of his movies or comic books. V for Vendetta, Watchmen, he refuses to take a penny. He wants it all to go to the original graphic artists. This is both a huge subject and a no-brainer, so I just had to get it out of the way. I don't really enjoy talking about this because it's a huge can of worms. And if you're not a billionaire, then you're just like me. You're a little man, and basically you should just want to rip off Netflix as much as you can. Always try to rip off the corporations. And if you're lucky enough to get your foot in the door, like Beyonce, don't sell out and don't do concerts so that you can help corporations make more money. You've got enough money. If you're Morgan Freeman, don't do American Express card commercials. If you're Christopher Nolan, don't allow your movies to be on Netflix or any of those platforms. Your job is to help foster future generations of artists, not to help yourself make more money or to help Netflix make more money.